Hello, it is Jason Train, and welcome back to Aurania Gardens, a realistic Planet Coaster park. Today we continue on with this fabulous parking lot, as well as some backstage work. See you guys in the time lapse. Alright guys, so getting right on into this parking lot here. Sorry about the little shake camera, that was me. I'm using a new, new version of the software, so I was just kind of making sure everything was running quickly. I did do test recordings before this, but that was just me checking again on the kind of hardware side, just make sure encoding was going well and all that, because that was my big reason for switching to this newer version of OBS. I still record audio with the old version, fun fact. So we're starting on some backstage stuff today, along with still just kind of wrapping up that parking lot a little bit. We never really, still don't finish it sadly. We did not get as much done as I would have hoped to. Just time did not play in my favor this week. A little unfortunate. I am packing because I'm moving in a week. When the next episode comes out, I'll actually be in the car, so I have to get on that right away. I've also had a competition piece I have to get done for a contest for making a seaside screamer coaster, which I am too lazy to custom support, so I think it's going in as is. Whoops. So yes, this little building. What's going on here? This is a small little building. It's a backstage building. Kind of traffic. I saw it at the. I was going through Google Maps and I was looking at the Disney toll booths again, and there was a little building next to it, and when I went to Busch Gardens there was also one of these little style buildings there. So we're going for a similar style building. I'm not really sure what they're for. I assume they're for staff members. It's a break room maybe, I don't know. But I'm kind of using it as kind of a traffic center, so we have some utility vehicles parked behind it in the future, you'll see, as well as just a little maintenance bay, and I'm sure it can also function as a staff room if need be. So I do make it this go-away green, as a lot of our stuff is that we don't really want the guests staring at. So we go with the go-away green, but we add a black outline, which I really do think negates that effect, but it looks cool, so I'm keeping it. I don't know if that's the right choice of action. There's a lot of go-away green in the parking lot, so I guess we need a little bit of variation there. You'll also see that I have that planter there. The planter will have plants. I guess that's a kind of a given, but we'll be installing those in a little bit. So the roof, I kind of went for this yellowed white, because what I'm thinking is they really wouldn't bother repainting this unless it's fully necessary. So from this sitting in the sun for so long, this white roof has turned yellow slightly. I thought about doing it on that roof, and I realized how many pieces I'd have to recolor. So we're just gonna say they repaint that every so often, more often than they do these little maintenance buildings. So we built 2 buildings today. Very productive day. Not even that much. We don't build really any more parking lot. You'll see in the overview at the end really what we do get done. I think again, just these bushes. I spent a while on these bushes, and I ended up going back in later, and I just keep the bushes. They're the mini conifers. I was feeling kind of lazy with the bushes, so they're okay. They're not amazing. They're no N7 nature, but they work. They do the job. They kind of hide the building a little bit, which is their main goal. But again, the park wouldn't spend so much money on these. Probably just trim them to keep them out of the road. So here, this is something I'm really proud of. I'm starting to do some utility vehicles. So I'm just kind of going through all the vehicles in the game, looking at them. And I decided I'm going to do a tow truck. So we're started a tow truck. And this is on the workshop, so I'll put a link to it in the description below, so you guys can download it for yourselves. I am really proud of it in the end. It was quite a bit of work to get going. It took me a while to actually figure the wheels. You'll see that here. It's just a matter of, I have those wheels, and later I'll go ahead and replace those wheels, and it was a bit of work to get the wheels down. Also, one thing I hate about this model is you see the flaps in the back. They extend out really far from the sides, so they're kind of the imperfection in this build, I'd say, because they kind of cut off the edge, which is fine, I guess. Really, it still annoys me. So I'm kind of getting that general shape down. You can see that there. There's a thing about tow trucks. There's a few different types of tow trucks as well. You have those flatbed ones that yank something onto the back of it. You have the ones that have kind of the crane hook on the back. That's kind of what we're going for here. And the reason why I thought about doing it that way is because it's kind of more functional. Because you're not going to be able to lift a bus onto the back of one of those flatbed tow trucks. You're going to end up pulling it from behind. So we went with this design here, because I'll do some cool stuff with it later. But generally, an amusement park would have more multi-purpose in terms of they have a lot of different types of transport going on. and since this is a transport center and this is the park's tow truck, they would probably need it to be more multifunctional. So just fleshing out the back, and I keep saying this, but I really love how it looked, although the art shapes were being a pain, clipping through places I don't want them to, but it's not really their fault, it's just how they are. My one small caveat, I guess, is that the word? That might be the word, is the little tail at the end where it kind of flips up, but I think that's its own charm. It gives it a charm. So here we're trying, because there's two different types of the crane one as well. You have the one that kind of has a triangle that goes, and you have one that's kind of an extender arm like a crane. So first we try with the triangle one, and I just could not get these to line up properly. You'll see I try so many different ways. I try lining up, copying, pasting, whatever, and I can never just really get it to work. So I apologize. Come on, phone. Muty. Here we go. Yeah, this never really works out. So we end up doing a extender rod thing, and we use the actual coaster supports. So I found that these looked quite nice in this job. That looks a little iffy at the end, but once I add in the new beam, it really does help, and it really works with the cables that we'll add. Yeah, these cables. These are a little weird in terms of they kind of just clip through it, and that was the point of it's fine. And also here, it's fine. How it attaches to the bottom. I just added some TV supports and did it there. Also more TV supports to act as the piston, because these typically have a piston to push them up. So I tried capturing that look there. Also you'll see I moved the actual truck bed out, because I kept accidentally selecting it. I don't know how long ago I did that. But yes, if you're building a custom vehicle off the back of one of these, just build the base frame and then get that thing out of there. You can move it back later. So here I'm actually building the crane mechanism. I really like this, the cable coil. So I use, again, more coaster supports, and I don't remember what I used on the inside. I tried using these cables, but they're way too big. It's a common problem in this game. I don't know what I used on the inside. I think it was a small cylinder. I don't know. But it worked. I think this is pretty close to done here. Yeah, me trying a few different things. And maybe just left it as is, now that I think about it. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, so I'm trying to look for different options for a hook, and there just isn't anything. I tried the bobbles, but they're way too big. Again, another common problem. So those just didn't work, and we just leave the little TV stands. I think I add a bull bar later. I don't know if that already happened. I've only been paying somewhat attention, which is kind of a problem. So you'll see on the side of the truck that there is boxes, not boxes, but kind of storage places. So I was trying to use the Greeble first, and that just ended up being way too big. So then I try with these, and again, it's slightly too big, so I have to make it smaller, and selecting them was a pain. I apologize about the camera angles there. It's just a matter of getting them all selected. Then we add the little handles, and it looks cute. That's nice. These are also taillights. They were a little bit of a pain. I end up using emergency lights turned off in red, and just kind of lapping over each other. And from a distance, it looks okay. Up close, it's a little iffy. But it came out okay. Definitely came out okay. Yeah, here's the bull bar I was talking about. I also thought about adding one of these to the front, and that just didn't come into fruition. It didn't look good. I moved the little clips to the bull bar, and it looks kind of cute. I like it. I have no clue what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm copying it around to the other side. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Yeah, this thing was its own little challenge. It was my first custom vehicle, semi-custom, I guess, because I'm using a base game vehicle and just getting it. But yeah, there it is, more or less done. Again, it's on the workshop below, and I'm quite happy with how it looks. I hope you guys enjoy it too. I see it being used in multiple places. I mean, it's not very much an amusement park vehicle, as more of a service vehicle, but it's useful. Also, I added these little things. I tried adding cones in them, but that didn't work out so well, so no cones. No cones, although the cones looked okay, I guess. And there it is in its little home. Okay, so now on to the next major thing we do, is we start doing a tram backstage storage. So, I only realized this recently. Most of these tram tracks, we don't need cover the entire thing in a slab of concrete. So I'll probably just go in and delete it. Most of it, except for this little bit here, that connects up to the track. But yeah, I covered most of it in a slab of concrete. But because I was just going to have that showing over the concrete, but I wanted to hide a station that I'll have in there later. Because I want there to be actually a tram parked in this storage area. So we also built a little maintenance building. You'll see this a little bit later. But it's just a matter of making it look functional. And I never really finished this. I literally just started working on it to record this because it's 6 o'clock. I'm like, oh, this needs to get out. So yeah, that's why this is at the time it is, I guess. I've been working on it most of the day. But this was also its own pain, so I ended up actually placing it at a separate tram in order to get it to work. And I spent a lot of time working on getting it 3 cars. And you'll see later, it's only 2 cars. Because I decided that I only need 2 cars, and you'll see why later. I don't want to spoil it, because I'm really proud of what that is. It looks cool. I sent in the donation, they loved it. But, so now we're starting up the actual building, and the main purpose of this building, in actuality, would be a maintenance depot. So you drive the tram in, get new tires, whatever needs to get done, an oil change, whatever needs to happen, happens in there. Again, it's that same go away green, which is actually kind of pointless now that I think about it, because the roof is that same palish white yellow, so I might need to repaint. I actually make it one shorter just to get the columns to line up. Also the columns, again, they're not go away green, they just kind of look cool. Like, I'm going with it. So first, my first thought would be a corrugated metal roof, sorry. And just the size of that, there were multiple reasons that it just didn't look right, was the big thing. So I go in, we're building another custom roof, which I need to stop doing. I think mostly every building in the park has a custom roof except for the little main entrance buildings. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good. That's gonna bite me in the butt later. So again, going for that same sort of yellowish white, like it was painted white, and they only paint it over every once in a while. Except for it's very noticeable from the parking lot, and you saw that, I'm sure, in the little opening intro. It's very noticeable from the parking lot. But it looks okay. It does actually have its own little charms, which I'm proud of. And copying and pasting it down was just a simple trick of why did I select a bench? I don't remember doing that. Okay, sure. And again, just getting everything to line up. It's just a bunch of triangles. I don't know why I'm showing most of this, but I am. It's not the most interesting of things. But I used a trick using thick wooden beams to create a corrugated style roof. Oh, it's not actually corrugated. It's a thing I've seen many people do. Oh, so here we're adding more bay doors, because we have one on each end, but I decided that we should probably have one at this end as well, as kind of like a bigger, it's wider than the other doors. So if they need to unload something in there, I don't know. It just made sense. There's also a second door in there. And we're using the elevator doors for this, in case you're wondering, because they actually provide the exact look I'm going for. And I'll go in later and add the kind of the tube that it would roll up into, quote unquote, because I needed to happen. Also, I was struggling with hiding the little motor carriage thing that goes along the sides. That was just a small thing that was happening there. And I think I'm going to add the concrete. So first I played with the concrete terrain tool, but I decided, we're just going to go full on concrete here. Just cover the entire thing in a slab of concrete. Alright, so now we're going to move on to today's inspirations. First is the entrance maintenance building by the toll booths at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. This was what originally gave me the idea for the main building. You can see it's also very similar to Go Away Green. Here is the tow truck that we based our tow truck off of. I think it's pretty close. I went for some slightly different colors and some slightly different looks. Alright, now let's go into the general overview. Welcome to the overview of today's video. So, you see here, we're in our lovely little parking lot, our 10,000 piece parking lot, or however large it is. We haven't done that much today, which upsets me. Well, I guess this week. We added an exit, kind of. Still needs a bit of work, but there is an exit. We have trees along this side. We're just going to need more shrubberies, and I added some terrain work. I am not that good at terrain work, obviously. So yeah, this will need a little bit of a rework here, which will just fine. It'll happen. We go over here. We have our little maintenance building. I don't know how much I showed I got done in the video, but there was a lot of detail work I did. I'm kind of happy about. I like the little electrical box here and this little button panel, but I like the one in the other building more, as well as some garbage cans and just some general road stuff. See our tow truck here? As I was talking about earlier, I did think about adding cones here, as sometimes these do have cones on them, but I just couldn't get it to work in a way I liked. But this truck has cones, and some of them fell over, as well as one of the barrels, so I'm just liking these little touches of, hey, it's functional, sort of thing. Also, we have one of these just kind of laying around. I might repaint it a different color, I don't know. Alright, and if we fly on up, you can also see we have trees. Just a long line of trees. This will need some sort of road marking, I'm sure, as well as just something along here to kind of add a little bit more of a flow between the two. We go over here, we have the little building that we made. So first things first, we have a gate. This is again using that same elevator door, but on its normal side, and I guess there will need to be a button panel, but I painted it green so it opens and closes. Also, this is a perfect green skin color, and that just occurred to me. But yep, it's just another little one of the changes. I also started adding a kind of a staff backstage roadway, I guess. That's, I guess, how that would work. If we come up here, you can see the building itself. We have the lines of thick wood beams I was talking about earlier. They aren't actually perfectly spaced. I kind of goofed up on that, but you can't really notice without me saying something. I just said something. We have our tow truck, and I really like because we actually got it in use somewhere. So we took the damaged tour bus from the Studios pack, and we attached it to the tow truck, and that it's being pulled into the maintenance shed because I'm just thinking they probably could fix that. It's not too badly damaged. You have, this is falling off on this side, so not that bad. You have a wheel falling off. You have some just kind of bent mirrors, but the actual chassis is in fine shape, so that's probably more than fixable. You know, this needs a little bit of fixing, but I think this is a plastic material in real life. I don't know. The speaker's all goofed out. I feel like they just took the, what's the tool? The puppet warp in Photoshop and just moved it down. But to go along with this, we have two cars of a tram with a little beam here. Don't look too closely at it, but it's fallen off the front and just kind of resting there. And things waiting, and that's where this person's hiding. Just a poor little person staring at a wall for all eternity. On this side, not too much has changed. I added a door. I don't know if that was in the video. I added a little electrical box. We'll probably have a few more things like that along this wall. Also added these little button panels at each one of these doors. They stick out a little bit, like the doors were a later attachment or something, I don't know. But it's also concrete, which isn't the easiest to run power through. So I'm just kind of playing with the idea, because I know I've seen this look before. So I'm just kind of playing with that. And this is 12 pieces, this whole little button panel, which is upsetting. I really should start paying attention to piece count sometime soon, or I'm going to regret it. But generally that's more or less what I did. Oh, and one other small thing. I started messing with the coaster concept. I actually now have a kind of plot and story for the coaster. As well as you can see, along with it being an aero coaster, it's gotten Vekoma cars, as in through its lifespan, the cars may have been unusable and Vekoma replaced the cars. That's all I'm thinking. Just Vekoma came in later, and a company called Vekoma, hey, we need new cars, and these are the new cars they got. And they actually look more like cars than the aero cars, which is kind of why I like these more. So they have the Vekoma cars now. You can also see it's a dual loading station. I'll be doing a video on this shortly. I've had this recorded for a few weeks now, but I never actually got around to editing it. But yeah, I'll upload that soon on how to do a dual station of your own that's perfectly timed, so it actually looks like they're following block rate procedure, which is quite awesome. Because you'll see, they more or less do. More or less. More or less. But yeah, this is the type of coaster we'll be doing. It's a, I guess it's a royalty surprise. Along with that, actually, this building here is going to get moved to the other side of the street. This other building that I showed that I never actually did any work on is moving to, I think, maybe this corner or that corner. I haven't decided yet. This building is going to go. It just doesn't fit the area. And this one potentially as well, because it feels a little rustic for the area. This is a building in New Orleans, but it feels more beachy than Main Streety. So that's why it can't exist here. But I might keep it around just so we can use it somewhere else in the park if we end up doing a beach, because that thought has crossed my mind. doing a beach area, kind of like a wave rider coaster or something. I don't know. We'll play with that in the future. But yeah, that's about all I did. I can't think of anything else. It's a long week. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more of these. They come out every Wednesday. I've decided every Wednesday. As well as be sure to join the Discord. The link is down below. I tend to share my inspirations there. Even ones that don't make it into the videos are there as well. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.